The Cheesecake Factory Oreo cheesecake is over 1,500 calories and 122 grams of sugar. My Lord. Let's talk about the cheesecake. This thing tastes incredible. I'm not even gonna lie. But the fact that it has 122 grams of sugar and it is almost your daily amount of calories you should be eating in a day should be pretty concerning, don't you think? So I love sweets, I love Oreos, and I love cheesecakes. And I thought to myself, I wonder if there's a way to recreate the Cheesecake Factory Oreo cheesecake that doesn't have as many calories. Maybe we could add in some protein as well. Because here's the truth about dieting. When you're dieting, you're trying to get shredded, you're trying to get lean. The goal isn't to completely get rid of the foods that you love. The goal should be, how can you eat your favorite foods and still be able to get the results you want? Still be able to get the six pack, still be able to build muscle. Sometimes seeing results require a little shift in the foods that you're eating. And the shift that I'm about to share with you today can literally change your life. I introduce to you my protein Oreo cheesecake. This cheesecake literally has over 50 grams of protein and 1/3 of the calories as the cheesecake from the Cheesecake Factory. Now don't get me wrong, of course the Cheesecake Factory cheesecake tastes better, has 122 grams of sugar, but this is right behind it. It's very, very close. The taste is out of this world. For the calories you get and the protein you get, it could not get any better. I've tested this recipe multiple times and this is the best formula that you can have. If you want to eat this every single night before you go to bed, you can and still keep your gains. If you're eating 2 of these Oreo cheesecakes, you're gonna gain almost a pound of fat a week because it takes 3,500 extra calories in your diet to gain 1 pound. So simply by making the shift to my protein Oreo cheesecake, you're gonna be cutting at least 2,000 calories off of your daily diet if you're eating this 2 times a week. The best part about this recipe is you don't have to be a chef to make it, and it requires no baking, no air fryer, none of that stuff. This should only take you a few minutes to prepare, and you put it in the freezer for 20 minutes and it's good to go. You wanna know my favorite part about cheesecake? Of course, it's the sweet texture, but my favorite part about cheesecake is the crust. And what I've seen is that a lot of these healthy cheesecake recipes don't have that crunchy texture and crunchy flavoring that you want in a cheesecake. So the first thing we're gonna start off with is our crust. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna crush up 4 Oreo thins and layer them flat on the pan. Now what you're gonna do is take a circular pan, spray it with non-stick spray. I'm using coconut oil. This way the cheesecake can scoop out when it's done. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your 4 smashed Oreo thins, layer them across the pan to make your crust. Make sure it's nice and even. Now that we secured our crust, the next part is my secret weapon. Hershey's syrup, sugar-free. This stuff is life-changing. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pour the Hershey syrup over the crust and then we're gonna place it in the freezer as we prepare our cheesecake filling. Now that we have our delicious crust, this is literally what it consists of. Oreo thins are a sweet tooth hack. These literally have 40 calories per Oreo. So we used 4 of them, 160 calories. The zero sugar Hershey syrup, which is my secret weapon, this is 5 calories per serving and 0 grams of fat. So you pretty much could honestly use as much as you want. Obviously you don't want to be eating this every day, but for something like this, it's great. Now let's take our crust and put it in the freezer for about 20 to 30 minutes to allow the crust to really harden. There we go. I'll see you soon, buddy. Now that our Oreo cheesecake crust is hardening, we gotta make the cheesecake filling. And all you're gonna do is take a blender, I like to use a mini one, and add all of our ingredients in. So the ingredients we're gonna use, we'll be using 3 tablespoons, about 1.5 ounces of fat-free Fairlife milk, 150 grams of low-fat cottage cheese. Here's the secret right here. 8 grams of sugar-free cheesecake pudding mix, 40 grams of low-fat cream cheese, 5 grams of monk fruit sweetener. If you don't have monk fruit, you could just use Splenda, and 1 scoop of vanilla protein powder. I will be using the Hulk milk from Alpha Lion because what I love about Alpha Lion is they don't have any proprietary blends, there's no amino spiking, and the flavor is absolutely incredible. You could use my code TRIZZLEMAN for 15% off. Now that we got all of our cheesecake filling ingredients in the blender, what's so important here is the consistency and the texture. You know what I'm talking about when you're eating something and you don't like the consistency. That's why for a lot of people, they don't like cottage cheese, but blended cottage cheese is a lot different. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna blend our cheesecake filling on a low to make sure it's still thick and has that creamy texture. Now that we got our cheesecake filling, we're going to grab the Oreo crust. Bruh, are you serious? That is how the crust should look, okay? It's nice and hard, it's gonna give you that crunchy texture. Like that's what we're here for. We're here for a couple things: texture, consistency, and taste. Now we're gonna take our cheesecake filling and layer it evenly over the pan. All right, fam, this is how a cheesecake should be. You see the jiggle? That's what I'm talking about. Jiggle left, jiggle right, jiggle back to back. That's a cheesecake right there, okay? Now what you wanna do is you wanna take a spatula and make sure you even out the mixture. Should be as even as possible. All right, now we're gonna pop it back into the freezer for 30 minutes to allow our cheesecake filling to thicken up. A key here is when you put it back into the freezer, make sure your cheesecake is level, all right? Bread cheesecake. After the 20 minutes, pull your cheesecake out of the freezer. All right, so now after the 20 minutes, when I try to jiggle it, it still is jiggling, but it's not jiggling as much. Right? So that means it has thickened up for us, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Okay, now I want to show you the texture. Wow, comes out nice and thick. And my favorite part about this cheesecake is the Oreo crust. That's where a lot of people make the mistake. Let's try it out. Oh my goodness. You could literally taste the cheesecake in there. Wow. Bro, like in comparison to the Cheesecake Factory Oreo cheesecake, this is so close behind in taste. I'm not gonna lie and tell you that this cheesecake tastes better than the cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory, but the calories are absolutely not worth it, 100%. This is so bomb, especially with the Oreos in it. Wow, absolutely incredible. I would rate this Oreo cheesecake a 9.6 out of 10. It is so, so good. What's awesome too is how thick it came out as well. Like it's just as thick as a regular cheesecake. Now I know following recipes on YouTube can be confusing, so what I did is I actually broke down this entire recipe in a PDF document for free for you. All you gotta do is click the link in the description below and I'll have the full breakdown that you can have. If you enjoyed this recipe and you want more recipes, make sure you subscribe, like, and share this video. Let me know if you have any questions about the recipe in the comment below, and let me know how you like it.